All right, welcome in everybody. Dirt Racing Network's live coverage of the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series tonight from USA Speedway. Looking at the sign-in sheet, about 47 360 wing sprint cars signed in here tonight. Racing for the total prize purse of $70, 40 to the winner, 20 to second, and $10 to third. Many of the old familiar names in here tonight. The Sittlers, the Williams, the Hanleys, Zane Scott, Tyler Schell. A lot of drivers in here ready to compete. Track looks like they're getting it worked in pretty good. Got about a minute to qualifying. Guys, don't forget likes, shares, and follows. If you're over on YouTube or Twitch, excuse me, be sure to say hi in chat. I do see those things. Ready to get these guys cut loose tonight. Few days off here for the Dirt Racing Network in between seasons for Dirt Slingers. So we still got Dirt DSCCS going on here on our Wednesday night shows, but we'll be back next Thursday night with Dirt Slingers. Be off until then, guys. Look for something live over the weekend. I'm going to be up at Dodge City, Kansas at the Boot Hill Shootout with the World of Outlaws. Going to try to make both nights of that, depending on the weather. Was looking at the radar, and it looks like it could rain on us a little on Saturday, but hopefully that's either way before or way after, and it's not too bad. So look for some live World of Outlaws stuff here on the Dirt Racing Network. These guys getting ready to go to qualifying. 47 machines out here ready to do it. As soon as they go over to qualifying, you guys know what that means. That means it's time for Johnny Foley and our national anthem.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, big thank you to my good buddy Johnny Foley for that. Qualifying winding down right now. Kevin Hanley, Nelson Webster, Tyler Schell, Braden Eiler, and Kyle Stoltz are top five qualifying. These guys getting ready to get lined up into heat races. Should have about 5 heat races for you. We'll know here in just a moment as soon as they sort everything out. And we are going to have right at 5 heat races for you. Heat race number 1 about to go out, and I do not have any sound right now. Weird. Yeah, maybe that'll change in just a moment when we get down here and get to looking at these cars. There's some sound for us. Awesome. All right. On the pole, the 110, we call him the Cadillac Man. It's going to be Kevin Hanley, and to his outside of the Ultimate Dirt TV, Black Diamond Motorsports, number 91 of Ernie Williams Jr. Row 2 on the inside. It's going to be the 11 machine of R.J. Harper, and on his outside, Larry Moody drives the 073. Scott Masick scheduled to line up inside of row number 3 in the 000 car, and on his outside going to be the 4 machine of Steven Sittler. Row 4 inside, Jimmy Barr, the 94 machine on his outside, going to be the 798 of William Midget. And on the back row right now, currently by himself, that Mountain Dew machine, the 34 car of Chris Ridley. Glenn Richards, the 82, scheduled to be on his outside. Right now, I do not see Scott Masick or Glenn Richards on the grid. I think some of these guys having problems getting the cars out on the grid. Somebody else took theirs. R.J. Harper took his car off the grid for some reason. There it comes. There comes the 11 car back. So, 10 cars were scheduled. Looks like we're going to have 8 of them. It's been a thing for a while, Sean. YouTube. If you can get YouTube on your Roku, then you can watch it. Look for the Dirt Racing Network, and you can watch it on the big screen. All right, rolling them off. 9 cars. Scott Masick does make the car. 000 right there. Made it down. Got his car on the grid. Haven't seen Scott on track in quite a while, but good to see him out here running around with these guys. Couple of pace laps here. They'll go back around the front stretch one more time. This track very long, about 0.6 of a mile. Is long straightaways, sweeping turns, pretty flat. Just a lot of speed here. You got to watch later in the evening as the bottom goes away. It doesn't take long for it to start to come back. You'll see two wide racing right up against the outside fence, right down against that inside fence. These guys will really work both the top and the bottom lines there. So, all right, lights are off on the pace truck. Well, next time around, they will bring them to life right off the exit of turn number 4 there. It'll be Hanley and Ernie Williams. Eight cars. These guys got 8 laps. Top 3 goes straight to the feature. Everybody else into the alphabet soup where they will work their way and fill in the final 5 spots for the 20-car feature tonight. Get to the feature, they'll do 30 laps. Top 3 get paid. So the pace truck about to head in. We are about to go green. Hanley's on the throttle and the green flag is in the air. Watch that 91 car. Very good around the top here. Ernie Williams, one of the proverbial rim riders at this track. And he's pretty quick up there. Hanley's trying to make that bottom work, keeping that car down, in low, out high. Williams will go around the top side, try to keep that momentum all the way up, see if he can run him down. Larry Moody has slipped into the 3rd spot. Moody in the white 073 machine right there. Scott Masick, I just was talking about him. He sits in the 4th spot. R.J. Harper, Steve Sittler, Jimmy Berry, Chris Ridley, and William Midget. But it is all Hanley right now, the Cadillac man, out on a cruise as he keeps it in front of Williams. One thing this track notorious for, both the front and back straightaways develop, we call them whoop-de-doos because they are just rolling bumps down the straightaways. And these cars, you watch the front end of these cars, they will bounce up and down. And every time the car bounces, you lose a little bit of traction. Go on board here. We'll get back here with Ernie Williams there. Hanley made a mistake off of 2, and Williams stayed on the top side, and he took the lead away. You can watch down the front stretch right here. This car going to start bouncing right about here. Bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce. Every time his hands move, that car's bouncing. Ernie keeping that right rear right where the marbles are. They were halfway home. There'll be 3 to go this time off of turn 4. Stretch ourselves back out here. Take a look back. Hanley right with Williams. Cut low right there in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Not able to do much with it. But 2 to go. This time off turn 4. It's still Williams, Hanley, Moody, Masick. Moody and Masick both falling back quite a ways. Larry Moody almost 2 seconds behind Kevin Hanley at this point. Yeah, exits of both corners and the straightaways. If you get it out of shape coming off the corner, it is really hard to get it back when you start over that rhythm section. White flag in the air. Heat race number 1. Ernie Williams out in front of this one. Working up on the high side. Looking like Williams is going to bring it home. All right, past the camera right there in 3 and 4, and he will see the checkered flags. It's going to be Williams, Hanley, and Moody making the transfer into the A main. Masick and company. We'll see you in the consies, boys. So 1 down, 4 to go. Hey, Parker. Probably about as up-to-date as it can possibly be. I refreshed it right when I came in the room tonight. Doesn't mean that it's working correctly. All right. Heat race 2 about to grid out. The Tony Stewart Sim Racing Team. Number 15 of Nelson Webster going to be on the pole, and on his outside, the Sinski, number 13 of Nick Gray. Row 2 on the inside, the Pace Performance Products, number 44, Ryan Pace. And on his outside, Craig Levon in the 73 car. 31 of Ryan Dolbear starting inside row number 3 with Terry Mustard Jr., another familiar face to this series. He's in the 20 car on the outside of that row. Row 4 on the inside, the Weicherts, number 22 of Nathan Brown. On his outside, the Coors Light, number 9 of Zach Hollinger. And on the back row, on the inside, the LNS, number 31 of Ted Liette. And to his outside in the Trojan Condoms, number 97, that's Ashton Lee. 10 cars, 8 laps. Top 3 straight to the A main. Everybody else get a bowl, grab a spoon. Let's do some alphabet soup. We'll eliminate cars all the way down till we have 20 left in the field. We'll get 15 out of our heat races, so we'll be looking for 5 out of our B main. Appreciate the likes, the shares, guys. Don't forget, if you're not a follower of the page, get over here to Facebook, The Dirt Racing Network. Look us up, give us a follow. Around 6,000 now. Just a little bit over a year, about a year and 2 weeks now we've been live. Appreciate all of that. If you're following us over at YouTube, don't forget to subscribe over there. If you're on Twitch, follow us at Twitch. Get notified every time we go live, which is normally about 3 times a week. Unless we're in the off season, which we are right now for the Dirt Slingers. They run on Mondays and Thursdays, and the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series runs on our Wednesday nights right now. These guys behind the pace truck, lights are off, going green off turn number 4. Nelson Webster, Nick Gray going to bring us to the green for heat race number 2. Put 3 more into our feature after this one. A happy Wednesday to you, Kathy. All right, pace truck going to make the hard left-hand turn right here. Nelson Webster on the throttle. Green flag is in the air. He and Nick Gray got a pretty good start together right there. We'll see who has the advantage on the exit of turn 2. It looks like it's going to be Webster by just a little bit there. But Gray with a great run up off the exit, had a lot of momentum, and he didn't even take a chance, didn't try to stick it down on the inside right there. Patience and perseverance. You'll see if he can work his way back up there, trying to get around Nelson Webster. I believe the last time this group ran right here at USA, that 15 car picked up the win. And that has been quite a while back. These guys took a really long hiatus. So Webster right back to his winning ways, it's looking like. We'll see Gray trying to close that gap. He just keeps losing every bit of momentum in turns 3 and 4. Maybe the bottom side not his friend in 3 and 4, and it will be in 1 and 2. Ryan Pace picking it up right behind those guys, that black 44 car. Pace lost a little off too as he got a bit sideways. Ted Liette from the very back row. He started 9th. He is up to 4th. Terry Mustard Jr., Ryan Dolbear, Nathan Brown, Zach Hollinger, Craig Levant. Ashton Lee has already taken his car into the infield. So is Craig Levant. But 3 down and 5 to go. Just about 4.5 now. Webster half a second over Gray as he has started to extend the lead. Gray just staying married to that bottom. It's looking like the top side is going to be the way to get around here, at least in this heat race, and maybe for the next couple. Pace still riding around in 3rd, but Webster starting to stretch it out now. 3/4 of a second that last time by. We'll see where it's at this time. As he is running around the top on the corners and right in the middle. Now this time he goes to the bottom in 1 and 2, but he had 3/4 of a second the last time. Nick Gray hanging on to that 2nd spot. Ryan Pace still running in 3rd. Ted Liette starting to close the gap on Pace a little bit. This may heat up with about 2 to go. Liette drives it deep into 3 and 4, and that car's stuck. He made up a little bit of space that time in turns 3 and 4. See if he can do anything with Pace this time. He's going to get there, it looks like. But Pace just too much momentum on the top side. Turns 1 and 2. Pace going to the top side. Liette with the slide job across the nose off 3 and 4. Pace crosses over. Keep Ryan Pace under the white flag in that final transfer spot. Best race on the track, and we're watching it right here. Webster's going to pick up the win. Gray is looking like he is going to run second. We're going to see if Ted Liette, who is there, even getting into the corner. Short slide job this time. Maybe not, a little bit longer than I expected. Pace got out of shape. Liette going to pick up the final transfer spot with a last lap, last corner pass. So it's Webster, Gray, and Liette going to the feature. Ryan Pace going to start outside the front row in the B main. See if he can work into one of those 5 spots by the end of that B main. 16 laps in that B main. So he'll have his work cut out for him. This track going to get slicker as the night goes on. But 2 heat races down, 3 to go. Couple of 3 big names into this one. Getting ready to fire off in heat race number 3. On the pole, the Elbows Up TV number 85 of Tyler Schell. To his outside, the Team City Cognitive Warriors number 37 of Zane Scott. Row 2 on the inside, the long haul number 95 of Dakota Kuhn. And to his outside, the Ag Code number 30 of Keith Melheiser. Row 3 inside, the Ford sponsored number 21 car of Brett Perigo. And on his outside, that's the 23 of Chris Talbert. Row 4, going to look at Cole Huggins, the 191 up on the inside. And Austin McCarl in that 17, that Viper racing machine, going to be on his outside. So 8 cars in this one. You look at these guys coming right down here by the track opening going into turn 3. One more pace lap around. Appreciate everybody tuning in, guys. Thank you very much. Likes, follows, and shares. Going to try to add a few more series as we get into the cooler parts of the year and everybody's real outdoor series kind of come to a close. There'll be a whole lot more people to race and a whole lot more races to cover. So we're going to try to add some more stuff here to the network as we get into the cooler parts of the season. Both series for the Dirt Slingers starting up, one on the 26th, the other on the 30th, the 360s, the Thursday Thunder Series, and the 410 Outlaw Pro Series, the Pay to Race Series for those guys. If you're interested in racing, go over to the Dirt Slingers Racing League page on Facebook. Send them a private message. They'll get you the information. But right now, Heat 3 Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series. Right here from USA is underway. Tyler Schell, Zane Scott. Good start by those guys. Drag race down the front stretch. Scott going to the top, Schell on the slider line. We'll see if Zane Scott has got enough momentum on the exit. He could not mount the challenge, lost a lot of grip. Coming off a turn 2 right there. Maybe gotten that slick stuff on the exit, spun the tires, and that let Tyler Schell squirt away from him by about 4 car lengths. Dakota Kuhn sits in third, and the pack right behind him, Perigo, Melheiser, Huggins, all trying to run him down. Huggins out of shape. Whoa, so was Talbot. This might be our first caution of the night right here. These guys back a little bit, and there goes Austin McCarl, who did not get a good start. He's already half a track behind right off the start. We are going to go back. We're going to take a really good look at what happened to these guys back here. Talbot got way out of shape, and it looked like Melheiser was coming around the top side, and he got just as out of shape. These two came together. So Huggins' car headed around, bring up the back of the field. That car just looks like it's broken. Back end is all over the place, even at low speed. Front wing is dented in. So, yeah, that car might be broken. He is headed for the work area. But our first caution of the night, all the way into heat race number 3. Michelle, Scott, Kuhn, Perigo, Melheiser, McCarl, Talbot, and Huggins. Aaron Mack not making the call. So Huggins and Mack still in the infield. Talbot, the last of our running cars on track. Going to be at the halfway point, so about 3 laps to go in this one when they get the green back. Still behind a pace truck with lights on it right now. Don't forget, you're over on the YouTube or Twitch. Say hi in the chat. We can see you. Where's everybody going to watch races this weekend? I know I said I'm going to Dodge City. I'm ready for that. Been ready for a couple of weeks now. If you're going to be up there, watch for the guy running around in the Dirt Racing Network hat. Stop and say hi. I'll probably be hanging around the pits most of the time. All right, Tyler Schell checks him up just a little, getting down into turn 3, trying to bunch everybody up nice and tight on his push bar. He is going to get ready to hit that throttle. There he goes. The green flag is going to be in the air. He got a good jump on Zane Scott. Didn't want Scott to be too close in case he hit one of those bumps and lost a little traction, I think. But Schell went around the bottom. Zane went around the top. Scott not able to do anything with that. And this time, Brett Perigo gets around Dakota Kuhn down the backstretch. Zane Scott into the fence. P2 up for grabs. Give it to Perigo. Now moves Zane Scott onto the bubble. Scott, the 37 machine. Melheiser right in behind that. Scott going back after second. Perigo had a tough time getting through 1 and 2. They're coming around to get the white flag. Tyler Schell 1.5 seconds out in front of these guys. The battles for second and third right now. Perigo on the inside, the 21 car. Zane Scott the top side. Scott has all the momentum off turn 2, but Perigo with a great launch down the backstretch on the inside, and Scott slams the door on entry. Oh, then promptly puts the right rear into the fence, so it's going to be Perigo. And it looks like Dakota Kuhn is going to slip past Zane Scott. Scott, bad angle getting down into turns 3 and 4 the last time, and he put that car up into the fence, and he gave up a transfer spot. So Schell, Perigo, and Kuhn going to the A main. And we'll see Zane Scott in the B. Heat 4. Oh, my. This one full of names. This might be the heat race you didn't want to be in. I don't know. I guess that depends on your view of things. But on the pole, the Kinzer Sim Racing Border Tire number 5 of the high side hustler, Braden Eiler, to his outside. The 007, that's Jacob Fields. Row 2 on the inside. The Setzer number 1. That's Drew Neal, the pilot of that machine. And on his outside, Garrett Holsey in the 14. Row 3 on the inside, Justin Verhey, the 53. Scheduled to be on his outside was Kyle Tesmer. Didn't make the call. So that is going to end up being Mark Goodis in the 77. Bob Boserman, the 606 snap-on machine inside the back row. And the high side racewear, UDSRA number 19 of Troy Wagaman Jr. Going to slip to his outside, fill in the 4 rows. 8 cars, 8 laps, top 3 going on. There's at least 6 cars that I think have a shot to win this. This is a pretty stacked up heat race right here. If there was one you probably didn't want to be in, it was this one. Hello, Amanda. Wayne County. Awesome. Well, good luck to whoever's driving the 4D car. All right, we're going to go green the next time we come off turn number 4. Eiler and Fields going to be bringing us to the green. Heat 4 of 5. Hi, Lisa. I was wondering if you were here. All right. This time off turn 4. We'll find our 10th, 11th, and 12th qualifiers for our feature race. Green flag in the air. Eiler, good jump off the bottom right there. He timed that just about perfect. He had about 3 cars when they got to turn 1 over Fields. Fields going straight to the top. Verhey going to the inside. He was inside Drew Neal. They made contact, and Verhey is going to get away with that spot. Now he is battling Halsey for 3rd. It doesn't look like the inside of 3 and 4 has quite as much juice as it does down in 1 and 2, but Verhey, he's holding that car even right there. He had 3rd at the line. Now goes to the slider line. Trying to come off the top of 2. Got it sideways. It's backwards. Caution. Verhey got the car out of shape coming down off the cushion. Turn 2, and Halsey, nowhere to go, collected him. Those two got hooked together. They're going to flip over. We're not going to sit here and watch them turtle shell for a minute. We'll get up here and see who's out in front. Well, we know Braden Eiler's up there. Jacob Fields, Drew Neal, Troy Wagaman, Mark Goodis, Kyle Tesmer's not in there. Boserman's in there in 6th, and then Halsey and Verhey. Tesmer's car never made the call. So a couple of laps into this one and another caution. A couple of cars going to have to get some work done. They're going to probably have to fight their way from the D main. Try to make it into tonight's feature by way of the Alphabet Bandit. So a 3-lap shootout again to close this one out. Still got 6 cars on the track. One more heat after this one, guys. And it'll be time to head for our consolation races, a.k.a. the Alphabet Soup, where anything can and often does happen. Should see the lights go off on the pace truck this time. And they do so. 3 laps when they get the green. Top 3 going to the A main. Everybody else going to work their way through the consolation races. You can see how slick the track's getting. Tiny little strip down to the bottom, all the way till about 2/3 up the banking in the corner. And then down the backstretch, that high side. Slick and bumpy. Get ready to put the boys back under the green flag. See if they can get the last 3 laps in here. We're going to watch that battle for 3rd. Drew Neal, the 1 car, hanging on to it right now. that Setzer 19 Designs machine in a transfer spot. The green flag back in the air. Once again, Braden Eiler, good jump for him. He'll go straight to the top side of 1 and 2. So does Jacob Fields. And Drew Neal going to work the bottom side through 1 and 2. Wagaman had a good run on the exit of 2. Lost all his momentum right on the very end of that, right when he got to the straightaway, it looked like. And now Neal around the bottom of 3 and 4, going to hang on to the spot. 2 laps to go that time. This is the final transfer spot working right here. The 1 car, the 19 car, battling for it. And that time, across the center of the corner, Wagaman got a great run, and he's able to stay even halfway down the backstretch. But Drew Neal able to pull ahead, keeps that momentum going forward, stays off those bumps. This time, more of a drag race, and that time it was Wagaman with the spot. A white flag was in the air. Now Wagaman squirts across the top side. He's got it. Can he hang on to it down the backstretch? He's keeping it about 7 car lengths. Troy Wagaman in third. Braden Eiler's going to win the heat race. It looks like Jacob Fields is second. And Troy Wagaman from the very back finds himself in a transfer spot, and he's going straight to the feature tonight. Neal and company going to have to work for it to make that A main. So that's 4. We got 1 more. Cars starting to grid out on the front stretch. On the pole, the countryside, number 01, of Kyle Stoltz. On his outside, Vince Romeo in the 077. Row 2 on the inside, the UDSRA Highside Raceway, number 56 of the Flying Fossil, David Flick. And on his outside, the 16 car, that's Hayden Harvey. The 5 car on the inside of row number 3, Cody Brewer. To his outside, the 47 car, that Chris Fisher. And on the back row on the inside, the 41, Jeff Stubbe. And on his outside, oh, I can't make out the sponsor on that one. Too far away from me already. Eric Rockel, the 18 machine. Down here, see if we can get just a little better look at this. Not really. I don't like that camera angle anyway. Nuesco. It's a great pink helmet he's got on in there. Really stands out against that green car. But it's going to be Stoltz and Romeo off the front row. 8 more laps, 3 more cars. It'll make up the top 15 in the feature. And then we'll start the consolation races, the alphabet soup, to eliminate it all the way down to the final 5. Hello, Chris. Alan. Wow, Des Moines in the house, huh? Steven Calavoda, as I live and breathe. What are you up to, buddy? All right, green this time. Final heat race of the night. Kyle Stoltz, the 01. Vince Romeo, the 077 on that outside up there. Trying to keep them even to get to the line here. Stoltz on the throttle. He's got the advantage down to turn 1. David Flick into third behind Romeo. Romeo went to the bottom, and Stoltz trying to get off the top, and we got car backwards. The 41 car, Jeff Stubbe. Give him a second here. You see the pace truck go by. He's on the inside of the 4th row right there. Down into 1 and 2. Oh, little bit of a momentum break there from Fisher. And when he got into the corner, he just couldn't get it wound up. A little bit of contact with that left rear on the right front, and around he went. But he'll be able to get that thing refired and join the back of the line and keep on going in this one. It's showing Vince Romeo out in front of Kyle Stoltz, David Flick, Cody Brewer, Kevin Harvey, Chris Fisher, Eric Rockel, Jeff Stubbe, and Corey Johnson. Corey Johnson not on track, so that ninth place car never made the call. If he's still in the server, he'll have to start, I would believe, last in the D main. We had 47 when we started tonight. We're going to whittle that down to 20. We'll have 15 already locked in, so we'll take 22 cars, run them through some alphabet soup, and try to spit the final 5 out. Move them to the back of the A main. Give these guys a couple of minutes of warm-up to go out and check the track right before the feature. Put 30 laps on the board. And then the pay window will open at the end of that 30 laps. $40 to the first place finisher, 20 to second, and 10 to third tonight. Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series. All right, get a look down here. Headed towards us, lights off. Going to be right at the halfway points. We'll have 4 laps to go when we drop the green flag back over it right here off turn number 4. Vince Romeo in front of Kyle Stoltz. Week 1, Kyle Stoltz put himself on the podium with the last lap, last corner pass at Eldora. Let's see if he can pick up a heat race win here tonight. Spun the tires on the start, and Romeo got a great jump. Now Stoltz under fire. The Fossil on the inside. Now the Fossil with a big mistake right there puts himself under fire from Brewer. Brewer couldn't find the line there. Stoltz into the outside fence. Now down across in front of Flick. Down across in front of Brewer. That's going to allow Hayden Harvey to get around the top side and take over the third spot. So it's Romeo, Flick, and then Harvey. And Harvey not content to sit in third. He took a quick peek on the inside, headed down to turn 1, and then thought better of it, went to the top side. And he's going to hang on right there in third. Cody Brewer trying to close in on him. Only going to have 2 laps to do it this time when they come off of turns 3 and 4. Vince Romeo 1.8 seconds out in front of the Fossil David Flick. And that time Hayden Harvey's car way out of shape on the straightaway. Didn't give up the spot just yet, but down this backstretch he may be in trouble. Cody Brewer took a peek for just a second, had to back off as Harvey covered the line. White flag in the air. And that might have done it right there. Brewer got out of shape off 3 and 4, allowed Fisher to go by. That's going to leave Romeo with a 2.3 second lead. He's almost halfway down the backstretch already, getting ready to go into turn 3. David Flick, 2.6 behind that. Hayden Harvey now up to third. And it looks like it's going to be Romeo, Flick, and Harvey going to the A-main. Everybody else into the soup you go. We'll see who it spits out at the end. We'll start the consolation races right after this. Well, welcome back, Chris. Good to see you again. All right, D-main time. And as I recall, it's a 12-lap race. Scheduled for 11. We'll see how many grid out here. Going to be Nathan Brown, the 22 car, starting on the pole. Austin McCarl, the 17, on his outside. Garrett Halsey in the 14 on the inside of row 2. Row 2 outside, Jeff Stubbe. Chris Ridley inside row 3. Right now, it looks like 4 cars are gridding out. 4 cars are going to transfer, so these guys will run out the laps. I would hope more guys decided to stick around, but if they didn't, hey, these 4 guys are definitely locked into the B main. Or the C main, excuse me, the C main. We'll take 4 from the D, move them to the C. We'll take 4 out of the C, move them to the B. And we'll take 5 out of the B and move them to the A. So it looks like these 4 cars, Brown, Garrett, Halsey, Nathan Brown, Garrett Halsey, Jeff Stubbe, and Chris Ridley. And they're just going to figure out what position they're going to start in the last 2 rows here. All right. Should get down to it. Should have the lights off on the pace truck this time. Excuse me. You can see how those cars kind of rose up coming off of turn 4. That bump starting to develop all the way across the track right there. They'll do the same thing at the exit of 2, but it's mostly on the top side. These guys going to go 12 times around. 12 for the D, 14 for the C, and 16 for the B. That'll be, well, we'll be looking for you. All right, green this time off turn number 4. All 4 cars going to transfer. For these guys really just racing for a spot. Figure out exactly which spot they're going to have when they get to the back of the C main. Whoa, it crossed the grass in the infield. 34 machine of Chris Ridley. Oh, up into the fence. Nathan Brown, we're watching him put the right sides up in the fence, and Garrett Halsey shoots right past him, takes over the lead, coming off 3 and 4 for the first time. Jeff Stubbe sitting in third. Chris Ridley did not get down the backstretch well at all, and he is quite a ways back of these guys, 3 seconds behind the leader. And Halsey almost a full second ahead of Brown. Brown having all kinds of problems off of turn 2. Car not ready for that slick. Looks like he may have to make a couple of adjustments before he gets out here for the C main. Watch these guys going around just a little bit. Yeah, C main, he'll be up right after this. You're going to see these 4 guys, Garrett Halsey, Nathan Brown, Jeff Stubbe, and Chris Ridley, all in the back of that one. We'll take 4 out of that, move them up to the B main, and then we're going to take 5 out of that B main, put them in the A. That'll make our 20-car starting grid. So these guys get around here. In the 22-second bracket right now. Track getting pretty slick. I know there was a practice session up earlier, and I came in and threw a setup in there and made a couple of adjustments to some of my stagger, tightened the car up a little bit, and I was running into the very, very low 22-second bracket. Track was blown off, probably about as bad, maybe a little worse than this one. Track had lost 4 seconds from the time that the server was opened until I had gotten in there, which was about an hour and 40 minutes later. A lot of laps have been put down on that track because it was gone. But right now, Halsey out in front, 3.7 seconds. Brown still struggling with that 22 machine. Looks like it's a little better in 3 and 4 now. He was really struggling in 1 and 2 early in this thing. But he's 3.8 seconds back, 5.7 back to Jeff Stubbe, and a full 8 seconds back to Chris Ridley. And now it looks like Brown has found the rhythm to get around the bottom of the car, staying a little more square. Halsey. Halsey disconnecting? That's not good. Garrett Halsey. Oh, now he's back. There he is off turn 4. He's catching up too. And back, Chris Ridley back here. He's going to lap Chris Ridley. Under 4 laps to go. Jeff Stubbe in third, coming off turn number 3 down the front stretch. And Halsey, the leader, is in the middle of 3 and 4 right now. Nathan Brown just going in as Halsey comes out to 3 and 4. So 3 laps to go this time. At least these guys are getting a little bit of extra laps in on this slick track. Maybe they'll be able to figure out what adjustment they need to make before we move to the next session. Because this track is not going to get any tackier, I can promise you that. Now, the bumps probably won't get any worse than they are right now, but they really are a handful. It does not matter. Once they show up, they're there to stay. Nathan Brown, and then Jeff Stubbe right here. Garrett Halsey's in the same set of corners. I don't know if he's going to lap him, but he's coming to get the white flag. He'll get it this time. Nathan Brown going to come off turn 4 and see the white flag as well. Stubbe just barely ahead. You see him in the same shot. He's not going to get to him, but Halsey's going to pick up the checkered flag this time off turn number 4. He's going to win the D main. Nathan Brown, Jeff Stubbe, and Chris Ridley all going to make it all the way into our C main. They're just going to have about a minute or two here to get some adjustments made to the car. Add 2 laps. It'll be 14 laps. We'll take the top 4. Everybody else done for the night. Stubbe finishing up his final lap right there, and we'll advance on. 13 cars scheduled to be in this one. Oh, and there he is. He's on the pole. And that muddy number 23, that's Chris Talbert. On his outside, Bob Boserman, the 606. Row 2 on the inside, going to be Cody Brewer, the 5 car. The 94 of Jimmy Barr on his outside. Zach Hollinger inside row 3, the 9 car. The 191, Cole Huggins on the outside. Row 4 inside, Justin Verhey, the 53. Eric Rockel, the 18 on the outside of that row. In row 5 on the inside, William Midget, the 798. And on his outside, he won the D main, the 14 car, Garrett Halsey. And Nathan Brown inside row 6 with Jeff Stubbe on his outside, and Chris Ridley, the 34 car, tag in the back of the field. 13 cars, 14 laps. Top 4 advance. Everybody else going to be done for the night. So only the top 4 survive, so we'll definitely keep an eye up on the guys here in front. See if they can hang on to their spots. Long race, slick track. 14 times around. These guys just trying to make it to the back of the B main. B main 16 laps, and we'll keep the top 5 and move them into the A main when they're done. But right now, we're looking for the top 4 out of this one, and they're going to go green the next time they come off turn number 4. When they get to the exit of turn 4, that pace truck going to turn hard left into the infield. Pole setter, get on the throttle. They'll get us started. See if Mr. Talbert can hang on and bring home the W in the C main. Move himself into the B. Give himself a shot to make it into the feature tonight. Pace truck headed in on the throttle. Green flag. Brewer got a pretty good jump, and he goes up the inside. Car sideways. That is going to be Boserman.
All right, man.
606. And just like that, caution out. 2 or 3 of these guys probably going to be done real quick right here. We'll keep an eye on that 606, that orange car on the outside right there. Well, Verhey was in it. Midget was in it. And at the back, I think that is Stubbe's car, the black one right there. So we'll see how many of the guys. I know that Boserman and Verhey are both in the infield. Looks like they might be finished. Stubbe's car missing the nose piece down under the front wing. It just opens up the radiator to take a bunch of dirt. But right now, since we can't overheat these cars, I don't think that's a problem for him. Might make the car a little tight on the entry to the corner since he's going to be pushing a wall of air. Looks like Midget was able to get his car going. So the 798 still out there. Chris Ridley still out here. We'll get the top 10 set up for you. It's Talbert, Brewer, Hollinger, Barr, Huggins, Brown, Rockel, Halsey, Ridley, and Midget. Right now, remember, we're only keeping the top 4 out of this. Everybody else is going to be done for the night. So those guys at the front, those top 4, they do probably not hate a whole lot the fact that these laps are ticking off, and they're able to hold these positions right now. We get this thing back under green. We'll see who's got the car set up for the slick, because this track is getting absolutely blown out right here. There is a little bit at the top, but I can tell you that quote, unquote, cushion is super treacherous. If you miss it by just a little, your car's going right up over the top of it, and you're going right into the fence. So you're going to walk a very, very fine line to run that cushion up there. And finding any grip on the bottom is going to be sketchy at best until you get up on the straightaway. So we'll see if the two-line theory starts to come into play here. But they're going green. Then this time off turn number 4, Talbert, Brewer, Hollinger, and Barr right now are transfer cars. Still going to have about 10 laps to go in this one. Well, hey, Mike, Braden, Derek, Scott, welcome in, guys.
Green, green, green.
Green flag back in the air. Man, Cody Brewer is timing up those starts on Talbert just about as good as you possibly can, I think. Oh, Talbert out of shape right there. Able to grab it back, but he went from first to second to third. Now back to fourth and caution. I'm not sure. Might have been Hollinger's car. Got into the fence there, the 9 car. When Talbert got sideways, he got a little twitchy here, but when Talbert was really sideways off the exit, he tried to dodge, and a car come across his nose, and he went back to the right, I think, to stay off of both cars. Just put it up in the fence. So caution out again. Tyson Landis in the house. So it's Brewer, Brown, Barr, and Talbert holding on to the top 4 spots. Hogan, Ridley, Hulsey, Rockel, Stubbe, and Midget. The 10 cars on track. We started with 13. We're down to 10. Top 4 transferring into the back of the B main. Everybody else going to be done at the end of this one if you weren't in the top 4. Don't forget, guys, you're over on YouTube. You are watching on Twitch. Say hi in the chat. We can see you. Don't forget to subscribe or follow us wherever you are watching us from. 26 shares already, guys. Appreciate that greatly. All right, one more time around of the pace truck. Halfway right here, so we'll have 6 to go when we get the green. Only about 3 cautions until we got here. We've had 2 in this one. One lead change, still 7 to go, but it'll be 6 when we get the green right here off of turn number 4. Poppin'. I don't know. What do you mean poppin'? Is that some kind of slang I don't understand? A little racing going on here. All right, green this time off turn 4. The pace truck headed to the infield. Cody Brewer on point, on the throttle, back to green. C-Main back underway again. Brewer, Brown, Jimmy Barr, 3-way battle, side by side by side. Talbert up the middle, takes it 2 for 1 that time. Move Barr back, put Talbert in third. Cole Huggins now, the 191 machine on the inside, trying to take that third spot away from Talbert. He had it for a second. He's going to have it off the exit of 2. Here comes Garrett Halsey. And Halsey transferred in from the D. He's going to try to play Alphabet Bandit. He's in the 4th and final transfer spot. Put Chris Talbert on the outside looking in, and that car has no wing, no nose cone, and he is making it go forward. He's going to battle for third right here. Up the inside of Huggins. Huggins and Talbert getting together. Talbert is backwards. Caution one more time. Go back, take a quick peek at this one. This is right after Halsey had gotten by. Halsey goes after Cole Huggins right there, and then Huggins was out of shape, and here comes Halsey, and nowhere to go for Talbert, and Chris Talbert, a little bit of a tap. It spun him around. He was able to hang on to fifth right there, so we're going to get maybe a one-lap shootout. He's going to have a chance. Maybe do something magical and put himself back into a transfer spot. Uh-oh, there goes Garrett Halsey's car. Wow, that is a surprise. That car badly damaged, and he still was able to make it go forward, and now he's going to give up all those spots. No transfer spot left for him. Went into the pits. He came right back out. Interesting. Don't know what that was about, but that is going to put Chris Talbert into the fourth and final transfer spot. Hey, Schmo. Black flag. Whoa. It's 0.6, Chris. 0.6 of a mile here at USA Speedway. All right, lights are off on the pace truck. 1 lap shootout. A white checker finish. Cody Brewer, Nathan Brown, Cole Huggins, Chris Talbert. That 23 machine right there. That is the last transfer spot out of this race. Everybody behind that, if they don't make up positions into the top 4 on this last lap, their night will come to an end. No shot at the 40, 20, 10 payout for the top 3. The green flag about to fall on the 1 lap shootout right here. Cody Brewer still on the point. He's on the throttle and the green flag is back in the air. Talbert had a pretty good start on Huggins right there. Wasn't able to keep the car up beside him as he kept picking up the front tires down the straightaway and had to burp the throttle a little bit. But he's a little out of shape off 2 down the backstretch. Here comes Stubbe, and Stubbe up to the inside, slides up, mild contact. But Talbert, if he can get off 4, he's got the spot. It's Brewer, Brown, Huggins, and Talbert moving into the B main. Everybody else is done for the evening. So Talbert able to hold off Stubbe. Light contact in 3 and 4. But he's able to keep the car facing the right way and pick up the transfer spot. So we will see those 4 cars in the next race. 16 laps will be on the board. Yeah, it is super slick, Scott. Super duper slick. Hey, is Nick going to be at the Fall Fling? Just waiting on this one to finish up. There we go. Now it's finished up. 16 cars set to be in our B main. 16 laps on the board. A triple O with Scott Masick on the pole. Ryan Pace, the 44 on the outside. Row 2 up the inside. The 37, Zane Scott on his outside. The number 1, that's Drew Neal. Chris Fisher, the 47 inside row 3. R.J. Harper in the 11 on his outside. Row 4, Terry Mustard Jr., the 20 car on the inside. On the outside, Keith Melheiser in the 30. Row 5 going to be Mark Godis, the 77 on his outside. Kyle Stoltz in the 01. Steve Sittler, the 4 car inside row 6 with Ryan Dolbear, the 31 on his outside. Cody Brewer from the C main, the 5 car inside row 7 with Nathan Brown, the 22 on his outside. And then Cole Huggins, the 191 inside the final row with Chris Talbert on his outside. 16 cars, 16 laps, top 5. Going to the A main, everybody else going home. Last bowl of alphabet soup is served. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm going to be at Dodge City for World Outlaws both nights this weekend, and then I'm going to try to make it up there for one night of that one. And then I think on the 19th, we're supposed to go to Ozark Speedway for another night of Outlaws, but that's not confirmed yet. So next time by, they will bring them up to speed. 16 laps on the board. We'll keep the final five, the front five, out of the final lap on this one. Our 20-car field will be set for our 30-lap A main. That's what we're working our way towards. Final chance to get in. Last chance qualifier. B main. Hey, Garrett. So Masick and Pace this time, bringing us to green off of turn number 4. Pace truck in the infield. Masick's on the throttle and the green flag is out. Man, did he get a jump on Ryan Pace, and here comes Zane Scott up the inside. Contact between Scott and Pace, and Scott is still sideways in a big stack up. Zane Scott went to the inside there, and I'm pretty sure what cost him was he caught that grass. There's a big bump right there, and he caught that grass down the inside. Oh, that's not a good camera angle to see that. See if we can see it here. We'll catch these guys coming down the front stretch at us and watch them go down turn 1. Not a good angle. They're going to have to. I might switch this real quick. Here we go. Watch Zane Scott's car jump right here at the end of the straightaway. Right there, that big bounce. He put that left side down on that grass, and there's a big bump right there at the end of that grass, and it really will upset your car. When the track's real slick like this, you throw all that weight off the left side and put it up on those right tires. The car just keeps sliding to the right. Kind of like centrifugal force, just keeps pulling you out there. And he got into Ryan Pace. Pace was able to keep the car straight. Zane was not. So these guys catching up to the Pace truck now. We'll get everybody lined up, let them go around, go through timing and scoring, and we'll set your top 10 for you. Oh, cool. I know. In fact, the guy that runs this series is going to be out there for that. He just asked me a little while ago if I was coming over for it, and I can't, but that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm going to try to make it over there, visit with you guys at the Flang for sure. All right, we'll let the guys get underneath the starter stand this time. I'll get you your top 10 real quick. Still all 16 cars on the track. Order has mildly shuffled a little bit right here. It is Masick, Fisher, Pace, Harper, the top 4. Kyle Stoltz sitting in that final transfer spot. Mustard, Melhiser, Godis, Sittler, and Cody Brewer are top 10. Nathan Brown, Chris Talbert, Cole Huggins, Ryan Dolbear, Zane Scott, and Drew Neal. And Drew Neal's car might be the only one in the infield. That car must have been a lot more damaged than I thought it was. So Drew Neal has taken his car in. His night will be finished. We will go green, it looks like this time. 12 laps to go. Masick getting us started. Waited until he was up on the straightaway. Made sure the car was nice and square and on the sticky stuff. But he's able to keep Fisher at bay right there. Car a little bit out of shape on the exit of 2. And Fisher's got the drive. New leader. 47 car Fisher. There goes Pace. So from turn 2 to turn 3, Masick went from the lead to third, and he's got Stoltz all over the inside trying to take another spot away. Stoltz even as they go into turn 1 for third, and if he can make that car stick on the bottom, he'll have a pretty good run coming off turn 2 down the backstretch right here. There he goes. Moves Stoltz to third, Masick back to fourth, and Terry Mustard, the 20 car in the fifth, is caution. One more time. This time might be Mr. Melhiser. That car looks fairly damaged anyway as he's rolling it down the backstretch. But I think he might have caught some fence here in turn 2. Little out of shape. Little bit of contact. Little more contact. Yeah, don't think that's enough damage to keep him out of the race. Might have done a little bit of right front suspension damage. Hard to tell until he gets up to speed. But he'll go to the back. So caution out again as we'll cross the halfway point. Not this time, but the next time by. Brandon Kreutz. Hello, sir. All right. Fisher, Pace, Stoltz, Masick, and Mustard, your top 5. Cody Brewer. Alphabet Bandit. Worked his way into 6. Going to have a shot to move himself into that top 5. R.J. Harper, Nathan Brown, Mark Godis, and Zane Scott now back inside the top 10, so don't count Zane Scott out with half the race to go. Only got to pick up 5 more spots, but I can tell you that the further forward you go, the harder it is to pass the cars, and with the track being in the shape that it's in, it's even more difficult to pass cars. So we'll try to keep an eye on that 37 machine back here. Almost feature time. Got about 6 laps to go, 7 laps to go when we take the green here. B main, top 5, moving on. Everybody else done for the night. Our 20-car field for our 30-lap feature will be set. Right now, Fisher, Pace, Stoltz, Masick, and Mustard. That 20-car, the final of the 5 currently. A lot of racing left to do here. 7 laps at this place can feel like an eternity when it's this slick. The pace truck going to duck in. Fisher on the throttle.
Green flag, green flag.
Good jump for him. Ryan Pace going to hang on to second. Stoltz easily going to hang on to third. Battle's starting to shape up for 4th, 5th, and 6th right here. Brewer was on the inside of Mustard, 3 wide off 2. Now Mustard and Brewer both go by Masick. They head down to turn 3, and Brewer went from 6th to 4th. Here comes a slide job. Nathan Brown across the nose on the bottom side. Into that final transfer spot. He bumped Terry Mustard out of it. Down on the inside there. Mustard had a good run down the inside. He's got the car there, but he's not able to make it stick. Brewer tried to hold him down. This time Mustard with a drive off 2 down the backstretch. Great battle back and forth for this final transfer spot. Fisher, Stoltz, Pace, Brewer, your top 4, Mustard, Brown, and now Godis made a run at it there. Dolbear, Harper, and Scott still in the top 10 here, but tough sledding, getting things to move forward. They're going to have 4 to go when they come off turns 3 and 4 this time. Right now, Mustard starting to put a little distance between himself and Nathan Brown for that 5th and final transfer spot. Fisher still out front, 1.3 seconds. He's already in the middle of 1 and 2. Stoltz and Pace starting to battle for second. They're in the middle now. 1 and 2 up off down the back stretch. Cody Brewer into 4th. Terry Mustard still holding on to that spot. Nathan Brown, like a dog with a bone, trying to latch on to that push bar on the back of the 20 car. Like to make another run at him. But Mustard too strong off the exits. Caution. That's probably going to lock this one down. The 77 of Mark Godis really slow to get away here. He was behind Zane Scott, and he was right in front of Melheiser. Into 3 and 4. Melheiser got in there just a little bit hot, little contact, and then Sittler turns him the rest of the way around. So time was running out, and the intensity was starting to ratchet up. So these guys are going to finish this one in behind the pace truck, and it's going to be Fisher, Stoltz, Brewer, Pace, and Mustard transferring into our A main. So about one more time around, we'll know who the top 20 cars in the room were. We'll get them about 2 or 3 minutes of warm-up, and they will get ready to get out here and do battle for 30 laps. Once the green flag dropped, the pay window opens. 40 to the winner, 20 to second, and 10 to first. Looking to see where some of these guys that were closer to the front kind of dropped out. Knowing they weren't going to transfer through, so might as well go ahead and pull it off. But Fisher's going to pick up the checks in the B main. Stoltz, Brewer, Pace, and Mustard going to go with him to our feature race. Give these guys a couple of minutes here. Three-minute warm-up session. Let you guys know next Wednesday night, right back here with Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series, and Thursday night next week, Dirt Slingers Thursday Thunder. Wednesday night's going to be 9 Eastern. We'll go live about 5 or 10 after. And on Thursday, it'll be 8 o'clock Eastern. These guys go live for the Thursday Thunder Series. They're starting up season number 10 for that series. The Thursday Thunder Series at Dirt Slingers presented by Tim's Dirt Track Simulators. Then the following Monday, the Dirt Slingers 410 Outlaw Pro Series. Those guys just finished up their second season, paid out over $3,200 in cash prizes to the drivers. Looking to do the same, increase that even a little bit this next season. It's a $6 entry fee every night. They get paid back based on their finish in the feature race. Got to make it to the feature to get to the pay window. If you want information, drop by Dirt Slingers Racing League on Facebook. Send them a private message. They'll get you all the information that you need. The actual format and rule book is kind of over there. It's one of the posts. I think it's pinned to the top of that page so you can read through it. They make one trip to every track except for the Tulsa Expo Center. 12 weeks, 10 weeks of it count. Britton Roxbury going to be the defending champion for that series. But the warm-up session here winding down. You can see from this shot just how black the track is getting. Not a lot of grip to be found. I think track position is going to be a premium here. I think being able to get your car to stay nice and smooth around the bottom and be able to get off of turns 2 and 4 where what's left of the tacky happens to be is going to be the only way you're going to win this race tonight. We'll get the 20 cars out here on our starting grid in just a few seconds. We started with 47. We are down to 20. They're going to start gridding out any moment here. And on the pole, going to be the 91 of Ernie Williams to his outside. Defending winner of the race the last time this series visited the USA Speedway, the 15 car, Nelson Webster. Tyler Shell on the inside of row 2 in the 85. The high side hustler, Braden Eiler, the 5 car on the outside of that row. Vince Romeo inside row number 5 with the Cadillac man, Kevin Hanley on his outside. P7 starting there for the 55. Nick Gray to his outside. Brett Parago in the 21. Jacob Fields going to start the 007 on the inside of row number 5 with the Flying Fossil. David Flick in the 56 on the outside of him. His teammate, the 073, Larry Moody, inside row 6. Ted Liette, the 331 on the outside of that row. Row 7 on the inside. Dakota Kuhn, the 95. Troy Wagaman in the 19 on the outside of him. 2 teammates in that row. In the 8th row on the inside, Hayden Harvey, the 16 car, and on his outside, Chris Fisher. You saw him win the B-Main. He starts position number 16 outside, row 8. Row 9 on the inside, Carl Stoltz, the 01. Cody Brewer, the 5 car. And in the final row on the inside, Ryan Pace in the 44 and Terry Mustard Jr. That's your 20-car field. I do not see Vince Romeo or Troy Wagaman, so we're going to have 18 in our starting grid. Not yet, Chris. They're going to be adding some more tracks. It's just that it's kind of a long and drawn-out process to get these guys to add tracks. We just got Fairbury about 2 weeks ago, so 12 to 13 weeks, and we should get a track. We're all hoping we get a couple, actually, but if I held my breath, I'd just pass out. It'll be Williams and Webster, 30 laps on the board. 40 to the winner, 20 to second, 10 to third tonight. Track very dry, very slick. We'll watch to see if more than one line is available to these guys. But watch for the 91 car to try to go to the top. That's his bread and butter. He likes to ride the rim. He's going to bring us to the green right here off turn number 4. Ernie Williams is on the throttle. The green flag is in the air. Nelson Webster didn't get a very good start at all, and he has fallen back through the field like a rock. Tyler Schell, I thought was going to have a really rough time on his start. Dakota Kuhn looks like his car was backwards in turn 1. Might have been a product of the Nelson Webster slowdown there because it bunched everybody up getting down the bottom of the corner. He touches Flick and then gets turned around from contact with Hayden Harvey right there. I don't think there was anything Harvey could do. Message received, sir. All right, let's get your top 10 here. Williams, Schell, Gray, Fields, Webster, Romeo, Eiler, Hanley, Moody, and Flick. And don't forget that Nelson Webster there in 5th. He started on the outside of the front row, and by the time they got down to turn 1, that car was bouncing up and down and out of shape, and he was going backwards quickly. And I have watched these 2 cars at the front duke it out before. I watched these guys one night at Lanier. And the final lap, the final corner, the race was decided by 2 1/1000ths of a second between the 91 and the 85. And that was one hell of a race. So we'll see if these 2 guys up front here instantly go into doing battle, or if maybe we see a little bit of patience and a little bit of give and take here, and they save it until the last couple laps and put on a show for you guys, or if they try to do it for the next 26. It's Williams and Schell 1-2 right now. Dakota Kuhn, that spin out car, he is on the back in 18th. So of the 18 cars that started the race, all 18 still on the track. 26 laps still on the board, and here comes Ernie Williams, going to bring us back to green off turn number 4.
Green, green, green.
Down the front stretch. Watch the cars bounce as they go down into turns 1 and 2. Right against the top side, just where I expect the 91 car to be, and Shell down the inside. Those two contact down the backstretch. Now 3 wide, put Nick Gray out to the point. Shell and Williams made contact. It slowed them both down, and Gray was able to take advantage. So Nick Gray to the front, that 13 machine. Now Tyler Shell on the inside, trying to force the issue, and Gray shuts the door. Jacob Fields around the high side now, has moved his way to third, and here comes Webster. Nelson Webster, the 15 car, was working his way to move Fields up off the bottom when the caution came out. Cody Brewer. Maybe a little out of shape here. Off of 2. Oh, right in front of him. That's Terry Mustard was a little out of shape. And then Stoltz kind of finishes the both of them off. Not really much Kyle could do in that situation. So caution number 2. All right, we'll get your top 10 set up for you one more time. Let these guys get past the flagman there. A little bit of blink from Nick Gray's car. Gray, Shell, Fields, Webster, Williams, your top 5. Romeo, Hanley, Moody, Liette, and Flick at top 10. Still around 20 laps to go when we get the green back. Let's see. The 5 car made it all the way through the soup tonight. So our Alphabet Bandit going to be the 5 car. We'll see where he finishes at the end of the night. Try to get interviews with the top 3 of these guys. Sometimes they come for interviews. Sometimes they choose not to. We don't try to force anything. Still Nick Gray on the point. We're going to be going back to green this time off turn number 4. 21 laps on the board. Green flag back in the air. You see all the cars single file down on the bottom. Everybody's looking for that grip to try to get that run. Get a little momentum on the guy in front of you before you get to the next corner. Maybe do the slide job. Kevin Hanley. Ernie Williams' car was out of shape in 1 and 2, and he lost another spot. Move him back to 6th. Put the Cadillac man, Kevin Hanley, up to P number 5, and he is working on the back of Nelson Webster there. Top 3. Very close right here. Nick Gray working the bottom, hanging on to the point, but Tyler Shell putting all the pressure he can on that 13 car. And you see Fields. Here's Dakota Kuhn's car, very slow through 3 and 4. Mild contact there, I think, between Shell and Kuhn. Kuhn was just trying to get into the infield. That allows Fields to get around to Shell for the second spot. So now Nick Gray, the 13, out in front of Jacob Fields, the 007. Whoa, and the 007 hot and heavy down into 3 and 4. He was able to just lightly brush the wall there, but he almost ran all up on the backside of Nick Gray. And that's going to let Tyler Shell reclaim P2. Here comes Hanley. Hanley up to the 4th spot, and that car coming forward quickly. Cadillac man working his way towards the front. Looks like everybody trying to keep the cars down to the bottom. Going to go back. Nelson Webster was around the top side. Larry Moody right behind him. Ted Liette, the 333 or 331 machine, right in front of them. He's working the bottom and trying to find that grip. Tyler Shell, power move down in 3 and 4. He's got the lead. Gray opened the door and Shell put the throttle down. The car stuck and he drove right around him, right up against the inside wall. Now the 85 machine. Can he get away from the 13? Got a car length right there down the backstretch. These guys coming up on halfway. Halfway this time right here under the flag stand. Shell, Gray, and Fields, your top three. Jacob Fields' prowess has been in the late models for quite a while, but he has been making his way into the sprint car arena for just a little bit, and every time I see him, he's just a little bit better than the last time I saw him. Right now, he's in the top three in a room full of sharks. Kevin Hanley still in fourth. Ted Liette fifth. Larry Moody now has gotten around Nelson Webster. Put him sixth. Webster back to seventh. David Flick, the Flying Fossil, running in eighth. Chris Fisher. Kyle Stoltz rounding out your top 10. Shell got around him, but he's not been able to really get too far away. Gained more that time than he has in a couple of laps here. Nick Gray in 1 and 2 able to keep that car pinned right down on the bottom. Following Shell, and you can hear him working the throttle here. Gently, gently. Now gives it a bunch. Big bump on the exit of 4 right there, and it really upsets the car. Tyler Shell not getting very far away. Still chasing. Go back and watch from Jacob Fields' car, the two guys in front of him, and he's now down running the bottom. He was running the top. He is now taking that 007 car and put it in on the bottom, and he is trying to keep that left front down there right against that inside fence. Nick Gray out of shape that time off turn 4. Gray loses a bunch of ground behind Shell and in front of Fields, and Fields closed up to within about 4 or 5 car lengths. Kevin Hanley still hanging on to 4. Ted Liette, Larry Moody, David Flick, Chris Fisher, Kyle Stoltz, Ryan Pace, your top 10. It looks like Nelson Webster has taken his car to the infield. That car must have picked up some damage somehow. So 13 cars still on track. Perigo, Brewer, and Harvey rounding out the field.
All right, man,
Caution, and there was a car on the inside. I'm not going to very venture to say that was the 5 car of Cody Brewer. He was out of shape on the front stretch coming up out of that grass. He goes around 1 and 2, and I think the car just way out of shape, and he was kind of over it by then. Puts it in a pretty rough spot. Traffic's coming, and that is going to register a yellow flag each time you do that. So a good run in the middle of the race for these guys. We'll reset the top 10. Going to be about 4 or 5 laps to go when we get to green. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Everybody sticking around. Don't forget, off again until next Wednesday night. Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series back on at 9 Eastern. And then Thursday night, Dirt Slingers, Thursday Thunder firing back up for season number 10. Business will start to pick up as we go into the cold months of the year, and we're going to try to have 4 or 5 nights of coverage for you guys. Shell, Gray, Fields, Hanley, Romeo, your top 5, Liette, Moody, Flick, Fisher, and Stoltz rounding out that top 10. Lights still on the pace truck. So at least one more time around. 5 laps will be left in this one when they get the green back. Just waiting for Shell to get us going. He's going to let the pace truck get enough out in front of him that is off the track before they restart. So we'll have 5 to go at the green right here. Pace truck headed in. Shell picking up the throttle. Green flag back in the air. And Tyler got a good jump right there. Gray trying to hang on to second. Jacob Fields. Podium finish was in jeopardy for just a second in 1 and 2, and Hanley backed off just a little bit. Lost a lot of ground. Here comes Ted Liette looking on the inside for 4th. Not able to do it. Car out of shape off 4. Keep Hanley in that 4th spot, but Tyler Shell out in front of this one by about a half a second now. He's holding off Nick Gray. Since he has gotten past the 13 car, he has not looked back. It has been about this kind of gap almost the entire time. 3 to go that time. These guys trying to stay as low as they can on the exits of these corners. Come off of turn 2, stay down in the bottom half of the track where the tacky stuff is. Just not a good idea to get up there where all that dark stuff is. Too many bumps, too much wheel spin, too much loss of momentum. But that big bump on the exit of turn 4 right there. You see all the cars hopping up in the air as they come over it. Under 2 to go. Shell, Gray, and Fields, your top 3. Liette has cleared. He got around Hanley, and so has Moody. So Liette and Moody rounding out your top 5. But the white flag is in the air for Tyler Shell. One final time around. Nick Gray, Jacob Fields, your podium cars right at this moment. Off of turn 4, checkered flag in the air. Here comes Tyler Shell. He picks up the win. Nick Gray second. And Jacob Fields going to come home 3rd. So a good run at the front for all 3 of these guys. Get a chance to talk to hopefully all 3 of them, but maybe 1 or 2 of them. I'm sure Tyler will come in. Always has a lot of good things to say when he comes in to the booth. We'll get you the final standings here in just a moment. As soon as we get Tyler parked down here on our front stretch in the victory circle. That ought to be just about good enough for right there. Oh, you would think, wouldn't you? There we go. There's a pretty good shot over top of that. Over top of the truck. All right. Tyler Shell, Nick Gray, 1-2. Jacob Fields, Ted Liette, Larry Moody, David Flick. And that's Kevin Hanley, Chris Fisher, Kyle Stoltz, and Brett Perigo round out the top 10. Ryan Pace, Cody Brewer, Hayden Harvey, Nelson Webster finishing 14th. 15th to Ernie Williams, Dakota Kuhn, 16th. 17th, Terry Mustard, Braden Eiler, the high side hustler, 18th tonight. Vince Romeo and Troy Ragaman rounding out that field. I'll give everybody just a bit, see if anybody else comes in for these interviews. If not, we'll talk to Tyler and see if we can get that guy paid tonight. Pay window was open when the green flag dropped. Waiting to see if Fields or Gray come in. I know Jacob Fields made his way in here. He runs with the Dirt Slingers, and so he usually makes his way into TeamSpeak. Try to give him just a minute or so here to do that. He may not make it. Well, you know what? I think we've given him all the time we can. Let's get Tyler Shell, the winner, in here. Tyler, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
All right, let me turn you up a little bit. You're a little quiet. All right, man. Interesting run out there tonight, man. Talk to us about the track and picking up the victory here.
The track was very slick. You had to be very careful with the throttle and use the brake. Keep it down there on the bottom and then get the moisture down the straightaway.
Yeah, it looked like everybody kind of figured out that the top was not going to be the way after the first few laps of that feature, and you guys kind of single-filed out. And then it looked like Nick Gray just kind of left the door open a little bit there, and you powered your way by. Talk to us about that move right there.
Yeah, I was. I could tell I was a little bit faster than him. I was just waiting for him to make a mistake. Try to run him as hard as possible to make him slip up, and he did. I took advantage of it and got him.
Well, a great run tonight. You're going to pick up the 40 for the win. Anybody you need to give a shout-out or a thank you to, and we'll let you get a good celebration going.
My team Elbows Up Sim Sport, and then our sponsors, Elbows Up TV, Motorsports Beat, BS Air, the Wall Photographs, Duke Products, and then for broadcast, I'm very putting this on.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on the win. Look forward to seeing you again very soon.
Thank you.
Your winner tonight, Tyler Shell. Nick Gray came home second. Jacob Fields rounded out the podium. Tyler going to pick up $40 tonight. Nick $20, and Jacob going to pick up that $10. Don't forget, guys, we're off until next Wednesday, 9 o'clock Eastern. We're right back here with the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series. And then Thursday night, the Dirt Slingers, Season 10, Thursday Thunder kicking off. For myself, Mike Peterson at the Dirt Racing Network. Until next week, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Keep it dirty. We'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.